Welcome back to Aussie Food Journeys. Today we're just making a seafood lasagna. We'll be using some of our blue salmon, some prawns and some calamari, or some squid. And the recipe will be in the description of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hi guys, and welcome back to Aussie Food Journeys. We're making seafood lasagna today, so we're still on our fish and more fish. Hey Robert. Woo!
Oh yay.
I love fish.
I love catching them.
Anyway, so we're going to start the Napoli sauce, so the tomato based sauce, and then we'll make a white sauce and put it all together. So he had his beer sitting on the edge of the table.
She lies.
Well, it wasn't mine. Anyway, so to start off the Napoli, we're just going to do one diced onion and a little bit of the last of our fresh crushed. I can't even talk. The last.
And she says I'm drinking beer.
I'm not sure. I haven't drunk anything yet. Maybe that's my problem. I need some water. And the last of our fresh crushed garlic, which is about a teaspoon. Finally dice up an onion. Just following basic guidelines of the normal lasagna, you know. So just the, like I said, tomato-based sauce with a white sauce and cheese on top. I'm just not making a lot of the Napoli sauce because I want, more of the white sauce in the seafood, or the Mornay sauce. Right, just a tablespoon of oil. Turn this on. Turn it on. The onion and the garlic in, and we just want to cook the onion until it starts to soften. And it's windy today. I'll pick that up later.
And our zip decided to
Oh yeah, it busted. So it's kind of stuck there. I don't know if you can see that it's got a gap, but yeah, it broke, so I can't even pull that down and out of the road. Now we need an on-the-road, I was going to say seamstress, but that's the wrong word, canvas sewer maybe? Someone with an industrial sewing machine to come and visit us. Put in a new zip. We've actually only, we only put these walls on down in South Australia, so I suppose that was for 9 weeks, and then we put them up here now just because we're here for 6 months. But every other place we've been, we haven't bothered with the walls. It's just for an extra little bit of privacy, I guess, considering we've got everything, well, not everything out here, but we've got fridges and stuff, even though they're locked up. They tell us Crumb is a pretty safe place. I'm guessing it is. They're all, it's a very small community, so they sort of all look out for each other around here, and at Currumbin Lodge where we are, it's probably more a workers kind of pub, not the tourist destination pub, but we get a lot of our normal regulars every single day, and they're all friendly, they're all nice, they're all got stories to tell, ex-fishermen, whatever, but they're all working around town, and they're all, really, really nice people. Hey Robert.
yeah.
Always happy to give you a fishing spot, or they even take some of the girls. We've got a few backpackers working in here as well. Some of the girls, one's from Germany, and some of the guys that work around here will take them out fishing and stuff like that over night time and help them catch their first barra or their first blue salmon. So yeah, really nice bunch of people around here. And the work's been pretty good, hey Robert?
Yeah, no, a bit of everything at the
It's a
moment.
little bit quiet still. It hasn't quite, well, by the time this video comes out, we're hoping it picks up a little bit, but yeah, we're still, well, coming to the end of March, which is still fairly quiet, but you know, because we came this way, they're making sure we get some hours, but we're sort of just doing everything and anything. Like Robert's still doing mainly maintenance and yard work and cleaning and all that sort of stuff. So cleaning the caravan park amenities and inside the pub and all that stuff early in the morning, and I'm just
whatever
mainly
needs
in
doing.
the kitchen, but I've offered to put my hand everywhere else just to pick up a few hours. Travelling on the road and working, well, you know, you commit to a season as such. Well, you want the hours, you just sort of do the work and know that you're there for work, and yeah, it's not so bad. Right, so into that, because the onions are nice and soft, I'm just going to add a little bit of cumin. It's the last of my cumin as well. It's about probably half a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon of chilli, just the powder. I made spaghetti bolognese the other day and put a teaspoon of my chili jam in there and nearly killed us both.
It took me 3 days to be able to taste food again.
There's about a teaspoon of paprika. Oh. And not too many mixed herbs for Robert. It's like, I suppose I'll stick with quarter of a teaspoon.
I don't mind a little bit of mixed herbs, but I feel people go overboard, yeah. I love dill. I don't mind a lot of parsley or chives and that sort of stuff.
I think Italian herbs and mixed herbs are mostly rosemary, and that's Robert's number one hate. It's 90% rosemary.
It should be banned in all states, rosemary.
And all I'm adding is about 1 cup of tomato passata, a tablespoon of, well, actually I'll make it, that'll be a tablespoon. How much straight to that? A tablespoon of tomato paste. And just to change it up a little bit, and because this is nearly out of best before date, but I'm sure it's fine. We just bought it from the Berenberg farm we went and visited in South Australia, but it was in their throw-out shelf because it had a low date, short expiration date on it, sort of thing. I'm just going to add half a jar of this Australian tomato chutney. That'll just change the flavour just a little bit. And what I'm going to do,
But even if you don't want to make your own passata, you
just buy your
you can just buy
sauce, yeah.
But I'd recommend you buy a good quality brand one. Just has a little bit more flavour, I think.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, my sister's always said to me, her kids always ate my spaghetti bolognese, but not hers, and she's like, what do you do different? I'm like, I just went and bought a jar, but the difference is, she used to brown and mince and put the jar in, take it off the stove and serve it up. Me, I brown off the mince or whatever I'm using, put the sauce in, but I let it simmer for about 20 minutes.
And
so
we might even add a little bit of sugar to it,
yeah,
or
you know,
a little bit more tomato
salt,
paste.
Pepper and whatever, but I always let it sort of reduce down and let it cook for a little bit so the flavour all goes through and it reduces and it gets nice and rich. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm actually going to transfer this saucepan to the inside stove and just put it on low so it can cook while I'm making the white sauce, because I want that to simmer before I put the seafood in it, just so that it's nice and rich. I'm going to put the seafood in at the last minute so it's not overcooking.
Because seafood, because it will be cut up as well, it won't take long to cook.
No. So yeah, I'm using prawns, calamari and blue salmon, so the blue salmon that we caught. And I'll just let it cook, because then of course it's going in the oven for 40 minutes, so I really don't want it to overcook in here. So yeah, so I'm going to transfer this to low on the stove inside, and then I'm going to start the white sauce. Right, so the Napoli is simmering away on the stove inside. I swear I haven't had anything to drink. What we're doing is making a basic white sauce. So roughly 60 grams of butter. We're going to melt that. Add in 1/3 of a cup of plain flour and slowly add in roughly a litre of milk, 750 mils. I like mine a little bit thicker. So just letting the butter melt. Add about 1/3 of a cup of, I usually just go by looks, but 1/3 of a cup of flour. Just a touch more. The more flour you have, you don't want it to be grainy balls of mix where it's where it's too dry, but you'll end up needing more milk because it'll go really, really thick. So that's a really good consistency that I like it to be at. Now there's 2 ways you can do your white sauce. You can start adding your milk here. Well, there's actually, I won't go. There's the correct way of making white sauce and there's a fast way of making white sauce. So I'm just doing the fast way of making white sauce, but there is 2 ways. Like I like to let this flour mixture cook a little bit. So this is the roux as such. So I like to let this cook so the flour cooks out a little bit, so the so it's not, doesn't have a floury, powdery taste. But you can either let it cook now or make sure when you finished your sauce, it comes to the boil and it boils for a little bit, and that'll take out that flour taste if there's a flour taste in it. But I do it at this step. And yeah, obviously as an apprentice and going to TAFE and cooking school as such, obviously there's a white roux, I won't go into all the basics, white roux, blonde roux and brown roux sort of thing. But to make white sauce when we were apprentices, we were taught to heat the milk and you infuse it with onion and clove and all that sort of stuff, and then add the hot milk into your roux mixture. Obviously this is the faster way, and this is the way I think I've done it in every single establishment I've ever worked at. But basically, yeah, so melt your butter, add your flour, let it cook out for a little bit, and once it's cooked out, we start slowly adding the milk, about a cup at or half a cup at a time, and we let it, we let it cook out and like come to the boil again, unless it goes really quick like that. I'll add a little bit more. I let it boil between adding each addition of milk, just so that it's smooth and not lumpy in between the additions. I need to put this down so that I have 2 hands to hold the table. And obviously, when I was an apprentice, they told you to use a wooden spoon. I feel like the only reason they tell you to use a wooden spoon, well actually there's several reasons, but the main reason is that you're not bringing anything that sticks to the bottom doesn't come off with the wooden spoon, because it usually doesn't scratch the bottom of the pan. If you do it over a low heat, you're not going to have that problem anyway. It shouldn't burn on the bottom. I just use a whisk because it gets the job done a bit faster. Some of the pans in commercial kitchens are actually aluminium, so when you're cooking and you're using a whisk against it, it'll actually make this white sauce go grey. So you normally, I would, in an aluminium pan, I'd use a wooden spoon. But yeah, anyways, we won't go into all the technicalities of that. I'm just making a straight white sauce. This does come in a packet mix too, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, everybody I feel would have flour, butter and milk in their cupboard or pantry, so it's very easy to make and it's not that scary. And yeah, I'm just going to keep cooking this and then we'll season it off and add some cheese to it in just a minute. Right, so while I'm in between checking my white sauce and letting it come to the boil, I'm just going to grate myself some parmesan cheese to go into the sauce. Probably work on roughly 1/4 of a cup. And probably again today I'm going to steal the oven at work rather than cooking it in our oven or in the barbecue. certain days of the week they have their oven on in the afternoons because we do like pork rib specials and things like that, so we put them in the afternoon, let them slow cook it till tonight. So when they're doing that, I try and, if I'm cooking something, I use their ovens at the same time. And they usually don't mind because, you know, if I happen to be cooking, I don't know, Vicky's or something, they always get left a few. They all maintain they're all going to get fat while I'm working for them. And they're like, oh, how do you live on this stuff every day? I'm like, I don't, I feed it all to you guys. I just get bored, so I start making something. Okay, so the sauce has boiled away, well, simmered away. It's actually quite nice and smooth and beautiful, so I'm going to add the cheese. That's a 1/4 cup of parmesan. And just a small, I'll probably about the same, 1/4 cup of grated cheese, whatever you've got. I've got Colby. And I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper. Still haven't bought myself any ground white pepper, so we're just going on the cracked stuff. And that is a beautiful Mornay sauce. Right, we are back to our fish, our seafood. So like I said, I've got some blue salmon that we caught not long ago. And I'm just going to dice this up. There's been a lot of blue salmon caught around here lately, and they seem to be attracted to the light. So if you ever go, you know, at night time and there's some boats parked up with their lights on in the water, apparently they like, obviously the lights attract the insects attract the fish. And yeah, they've been catching a fair bit of blue salmon just lately, but it's probably, it's a nice fish, but it's our least favourite fish. I like the barra. Robert prefers the threadfin salmon over the barra. I'm not fussy, I like both of them. And obviously the jewel fish is fantastic as well. So the blue salmon, whilst it's not Robert's favourite because he's not a big fish eater, it's the one I use for if I'm going to do a fish curry or a pie, or like this, the lasagna and all that sort of stuff. And I leave the threadfin salmon and the barra to the ones that we're just frying up and eating. Right, and I do have a few prawns and a handful of calamari or squid. I'm just going to dice them all up. We'll put them in the Napoli sauce that it's been simmering away now for about 15 minutes. Right, so I used about 6 prawns. These ones are a 16-20 size. So, can't work that math out at the moment, sorry. The sizing on prawns, I'm pretty sure when they're 16-20, it means they're 16-20 to the pound. If they're a U10 or something, say, it means there's under 10 to a kilo. That's right, isn't it? 10 or 10 or something like that. Yeah, so 16-20. So that means you get, because there's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. Oh, this is doing my math. It's roughly the 32 to 40 prawn in a kilo is what you get. So that's how you judge your size on how big the prawns are. So if you see something advertised like a, I don't know, 25, 30, you know they're a very small prawn because there's lots in a kilo. Anyway, there's a little bit of information for the day. And just a little bit of squid. Just diced up. Right. I need to wash my fingers. I'll be back. Right, so I'm wrapping this sauces back out here. I'm just going to add all the seafood I diced to it. And like I said, I didn't want a lot of tomato because Robert prefers the white sauce. I like the tomato based ones, but I'm just putting a little bit in there for flavour. I'll tell you another story, right? We love stories. Down in South Australia, Robert goes, oh, you know what really go well? A Mornay fish pie, that'd be so nice. So I got home from work one day, made a Mornay fish pie. We sit down and eat it, and he's like, it could have been better, like, could have had like curry or some chilli or something in it. I'm like, dude, that's not a Mornay pie. You asked for Mornay.
No, I was just suggesting ways that we could improve it.
So hence, I'm putting a little bit of the tomato with the paprika and all the herbs and stuff, just for a bit more flavour, because Mornay is literally, like I said, flour and milk and cheese, so there's not a lot of huge flavour going on in there. So I'm just adding a little bit of the tomato.
And after dinner the other night, Carol's banned from using the chili jam.
Whoops. I even broke out into a sweat. It was pretty hot. I swear it was only a teaspoon, but it must have been a different batch of chili than the last jar, because it was awfully hot. Whoopsies.
But it was still nice.
Now we have a lasagna debate everywhere, wherever I go. Well, actually not wherever I go, not everywhere. But I always start with my meat sauce on the bottom. With this one, because that fish is so chunky, I'll start with just a small little bit of the Mornay sauce before I lay my lasagna sheet down. But some places, because I've done some support work and stuff as well, and I've taught people how to cook, and some people start with the lasagna sheet first on the bottom. That's actually really good for being able to lift it out, because you're lifting out the lasagna sheet, but also at the same time that bottom sheet
is always
it's
harder,
like a bit harder or something. So I always start with a little bit of sauce on the bottom, just to provide moisture for that sheet to cook really nicely, and then I start my layers. So obviously, you know, if you don't want to listen to me, you just do your traditional way of lasagna and start with your lasagna sheet on the bottom. But I'm starting with, a little bit of my white sauce on the bottom, and then I'm gonna do...
Because you can't have too much white sauce.
No. And I've just bought a pack of lasagna sheets. I won't use this whole packet because there's a lot of sheets in there. That'll make like 2 lasagnas. And the staff might be sniffing around going, what have you made today? And need a piece? You just never know. Right. That's not going to work. I need another spoon. And obviously you build this in your favourite lasagna dish. I know at home I have a glass. I used to have a glass one that I used to use all the time. But thanks. My bain marie dish is my trusty everything.
They're the best. I reckon they're the best baked dishes, best dishes cooking in the oven, because they're stainless steel. You have to scrub the crap out of them. They're robust. They're good.
One of our previous episodes, somebody actually asked me in a comment what lasagna sheets I use, what roasting tray like I use. I don't go into all these brand names and, you know, Gordon Ramsay's bloomin' whatever. I've always used a baking, like this bain marie tray. One, it was nice and cheap. I picked it up from a wholesaler like in Hervey Bay, and like Robert said, like nothing sticks to it. Like even if something burns, 2 seconds of soaking it and it comes clean. And you can buy lids for them and stuff. I usually just cover them with foil.
If you're just wondering why Carol's actually snapping the corners off, it's so they fit into the corner of the dish, because the dish is not dead square.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I just break off the corner so it sits further into the edge.
Because for a second there I was starting to wonder what she was doing. I thought she was going mad.
Oh, that's possible. It's very possible. Right, then we're going to do a layer of seafood. And again, I can tell by looking at it that the fish hasn't fully cooked through, but that's okay because it's going in the oven and it'll break down just a little bit. Now, I couldn't even tell you. I think I probably had about 500 grams of fish in there. It was 2 pieces. And this is only supposed to be a small lasagna. I'm not going to do a lot of layers. It'll be probably 2
You could, if you had a narrower dish or a smaller dish, you could obviously do more layers.
Make it smaller and higher. I was just trying to work out, because I'm used to using the San Remo sheets where they're nice big family size sheets. So I was like, which way am I going when I'm building this? But anyway. That one can stay there, that one can stay there. Right, another layer of white sauce. I'm just trying to leave most of the white sauce from the top. Oh well, not most of it, but... Right.
So yeah, drop a comment down below, guys. Let us know what sort of different lasagnas have you made yourself. Like obviously, you don't really often see a seafood lasagna. We just come up with different ideas and different ways to cook our fish.
Yeah, and I do love a vegetarian lasagna. I love the layers of roasted pumpkin and capsicum and all that sort of stuff. But
so yeah, if you've made
something different,
unique sort of lasagna with different ingredients, drop a comment down below and let us know what you've done, and we might even have a go at cooking that one.
Right. That's all of the fish. Go this way now. I like everything to fit. I have issues. Don't I, Robert?
Yeah.
Right, and then the last layer will be the rest of the cheese sauce. Nice big thick lashings.
Now we're talking.
When I know how many layers I'm making, I have it in my head that I use a quarter, or whatever, but I like a lot of white sauce on the top anyway, or cheese sauce. Mornay sauce. Right, and then to finish that off, with some grated cheese. Now for the first 20 minutes of cooking, I'm going to cook this at 180 for like 35-40 minutes. First 20 minutes I'll actually have alfoil on the top just to stop it from the cheese from burning and going too brown, and then I'll take the alfoil off. I forgot what I was saying. And yeah, brown it up. And just a little bit of parmesan over the top. Right. There you have it. What?
You didn't do the side. Need more.
Oh, more cheese. He's pointing at me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Because now my luck, I'll get that piece.
You won't take that piece.
Oh, I know.
You'll look at it and go, I need the piece in the middle that's got the most cheese on top. Right, seafood lasagna. We'll pop it in the oven and we'll be back.
So I just want to take this opportunity too, guys, just to thank everybody for following us so far. And yeah, we're really enjoying just traveling and working our way around and cooking and doing these little videos for you. So yeah, cheers and thank you for following. And yeah, please get everyone you think of to follow us as well, because the more followers we get, and obviously the better we get at doing these videos, the more we'll actually put out as well. So yeah, I just want to take that quick second just to say thanks, guys.
Right, so this has been in the oven for 25 minutes with the foil on and 15 minutes with the lid off, the foil off, so it's nice and golden. And now we'll have a piece. Right, lasagna, seafood lasagna and
Salad.
salad for lunch slash dinner slash whatever. Cut it. Do I need a close up of your face for a reaction?
Probably. That's terrible. I can't let you eat that. You really shouldn't eat that, Carolyn.
Is it alright, Robert?
That's really good. Like, really good.
Beautiful. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah.
Yeah, so please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like on this video and the notification. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode, and possibly another cooking one. Maybe we'll go fishing. Actually, it's been
I'm getting withdrawal.
Yeah, it's been a week or two.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks for watching, guys, and we're going to get stuck into this beautiful lasagna.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.